Okay, so this presentation is for Group B, Group E. Group E consisted of myself, Kaylee Pinkston, Grant Fox, and Lauren Orr. This presentation is going to consist of what we did on our BSG simulation while we ran a company that produced shoes, and you had to run all aspects of the company. Within this presentation, we will talk about our strategic vision, competitive strategy, our production capabilities, our competitors, and our strategy for our year 20 and year 21, our financial performance, and the lessons that we learned that we would like to improve on. No, my bad.
So for the introduction, our group met week to week to go over our company E. Through that, we met to meet strategic decisions, analyze the data that we had. We tried to adapt strategies in comparison to what other people were doing in the market. Through that, we did look into all aspects of marketing, production, finance, operations to compete our classmates throughout the whole simulation. Our team came together to learn from our mistakes, analyze what we did the week before, and try our best to make better and more informed decisions the next week.
Okay, so for our strategic vision, our company's strategy was to have a low cost but good quality, affordable shoe. When we were doing this required us to not invest so much on the higher quality materials and be more so along the lines of maybe a Skechers shoe rather than a Nike shoe. Because of this, it made us more affordable. We wanted to be in more retail outlets and be a more affordable option that was still a decent quality. When it came to our competitive strategy within the private label market, there was a few things that prevented us from actually getting into the private label market. One of them being that we had unfortunately let ourselves get so far behind in debt that it would not have been feasible for us to enter the private label market. With the prices being lower for private label, but our wholesales being higher, it would have made more sense for us to continue trying to get out from under the debt through our wholesale and retail outlets. Along with that, another reason we weren't able to get within the private label market, there were certain percentages you had to hit, and our SQ rating, while it was improving, it was not improving at a rapid enough pace to help us enter that market.
So then we're going to go and speak a little bit about the production capabilities from year 10 to year 19. Just looking at our workforce, just for North America, we started out the annual base salary was about $34,000. We since increased that to $36,000 going to $37,000. Same for Asia Pacific, started at with $12,000, went to almost $13,000. Understanding that it takes a village to run a company. It really takes all of us coming together, investing in our employees, and expanding their pay, looking at the supervisory compensation, making sure that they're getting paid adequately so that they could lead. That will increase how fast production goes, and really increase the overall welfare of our company. That as well, in addition to investing in our employees, in our warehouse operations. In year 10, when we started the game, we made about 71 pairs in North America, had about 200 models. And then by the end of year 19, we were making close to like 8,492 pairs of shoes. Just kept increasing our warehouse capabilities, making sure we were investing in our property, getting new equipment, and doing that for North America, Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin America, and so on and so forth. Making sure that we're being wise with investing in our stuff and increasing.
So our competitors, we kind of pinpointed a couple here. The companies that really stuck out the most whenever you look at this chart is companies J and K. You see that the prices are all pretty similar in our three companies, and both of these two competitors had a lower end shoe in terms of price, and then they maxed out their service advertising and had a smaller demand in terms of wholesale. Um, both companies also had a smaller retailer outlet like we did. And our kind of goal behind that was we wanted to really try to push and drive our appearance in the online market. We felt that if we were able to sell more shoes online, then we could maximize our profits because we're selling them at $91, whereas if we're in a retail space, we're charging them the wholesale price and losing about 25 bucks a pair there.
So going into our strategy for year 20 and 21 and going farther into the game, we would offer competitive pricing, like continue to do that to attract more customers. We would also continue to use the year-to-year report and analyze the market trends and see what other companies are doing and adjust our prices according to that. We would also continue to invest in our search engine advertising, just kind of with the getting out of that debt. And we'll just need to continue to invest onto our online that we saw the quickest return on investment, increasing into that and into our online. We would continue to offer free shipping promotions, which would incentivize our online shoppers. We would continue to focus on our SQ rating. That thankfully has steadily increased since we started our game and going into year 20 and 21, just focusing on addressing any problems that arise that would have a negative impact, do a quick turnaround and really improve on that. We would focus on celebrity appeal, continue to partner with relevant celebrities, our wholesale price, offer competitive wholesale prices, continue with our model availability, monitor like the inventory, make sure that we're meeting the demand. And then also as we stabilize and get out of debt, we would expand more into our retail outlets in that space as well.
So our financial performance, you can see below just on these two screenshots alone. Our company over the years had its ups and downs, but overall we were able to kind of stabilize and keep both our earnings per share and our return on equity pretty consistent year after year. You can see that in both of these areas, year 16 took a hit and we had to bounce back and make some production adjustments because mainly what we realized in that year specifically was we weren't functioning in all of our warehouses as efficiently as we would have liked, and the demand was high and we weren't producing the number of shoes that we would have liked in order to um, make that earnings per share and return on equity as high as we could. So even though our earnings per share and return on equity aren't super high, investors would still have interest in this company because we can show year over year that we have a history of having anywhere from 3 to 4% return on equity, which is pretty good for an investor. And then last, just some lessons that we learned. We learned pretty quickly that it's difficult to be a manager, not only to be a manager but also to co-manage. We had to set aside time to make sure that we were meeting the same goals, and but also, we had to learn how to communicate with one another. We had to learn how to be able to dive into this company from start to finish. Most professions and most companies are going to have your operations and then your back office work. So we kind of had to learn from this process that we kind of got thrown all of it together. You know, you have to learn how to price things, you have to learn how to do inventory, a little bit of everything. Um, but also, you know, nonetheless, I think the most important thing we learned was just how to effectively communicate, as well as being able to identify long-term goals and plans, and then continuously try to build our model on that and make sure that we achieve that through keeping our employees on board, but also making sure that the executive team and the co-managers are all seeing eye to eye when it comes to what we wanted to achieve and what our end goal was.
Thank you guys so much.